Hello, this is Miss Andrea, and can we talk about the fact that New York City homeschoolers, to be exact, New York City COVID schoolers, are having DFCS called on them for taking the kids out of the school at home program and homeschooling. So, here, over 10,000 New York City kids are now being homeschooled, new Department of Education figures show. This is from the New York Post. The DOE released figures recently after a lawyer for the Homeschool Legal Defense Association warned of legal action over delays in the processing of homeschool enrollment. Such delays, which violate law, can have dire consequences. Extended unexplained absences from school can trigger investigations by the child welfare authorities for possible educational neglect. So here's the specific story. In October, 3 weeks after Queen's mom, Emily Griffin, notified the DOE's Office of Homeschooling that she was taking 2 kids, aged 6 and 7, out of their school to teach them at home, the office had not informed the school. First of all, whenever you decide to homeschool, you are not required to inform the school. You just have to send in your intent to homeschool form. But any homeschooler will tell you to go ahead and inform the school anyway. Officials quickly rectified the situation after the Post reported a backlog of homeschooling notices. Parents who sent their letters of intent to homeschool received an auto reply. Please note that due to volume of emails we're receiving, our response time is delayed. A similar delay created a nightmare for Tanya Acavito, a single Manhattan mom who removed her first grade son from his public school in 2016 after he was repeatedly bullied and even beaten by his public school. I just couldn't function at work knowing my child wasn't safe in school, she told the Post. I'm a mother who loves my child and I was trying to do what I thought was best for him. Acavito immediately notified DOE's Office of Homeschooling, she said, but the office did not alert her son's school. Without warning, agents from the Administration for Children's Service knocked on her door, terrifying Acavito and her 2 children. ACS then started probing whether she was feeding and caring for the kids. Agents even pulled her older child out of school to grill the girl on life at home and her mother's parenting. Acavito called Homeschool Legal Defense Association, would sue the city on her behalf. The city finally agreed to pay her $80,000, including lawyer's fees. So what's going on right now is because parents are fed up with the no school, whole COVID situation. The homeschool offices in New York are just notoriously slow. And on top of that, they're more stringent than any other state that I know of. You have to tell them you're going to homeschool, and then you have to submit to them your homeschool plan. And they get to approve it. And they get to assign you a teacher who's going to stop by and look at what you're doing. And then at the end of the year, you have to submit what you've done and they get to approve it again. So that's what homeschooling in New York is like. First of all, if you want to homeschool in New York, don't freak out. If you want to homeschool in New York, don't freak out. It's just a matter of getting used to the paperwork. But that is the process. So take that and the fact that they're backlogged, and so kids are just disappearing from their online classes, and the schools, once again, are calling the po-po. So yeah. So if you're in New York, the land that I love, I'm a native New Yorker, and you're homeschooling, and you're sick of what's going on, and you want to pull your kids out of school, contact the school and say, hey, I'm homeschooling. I sent in the form on this date, and they'll give you something to sign. If you've already pulled them out and you haven't notified the school and say, hey, heads up, I'm homeschooling. This is the date I sent in my paperwork. And so that way they're less likely to call DFCS on you, because that's no fun.